Hello and welcome to another episode of Cowboys Takeover. I'm Aaron James. We're going to be bringing in Jason Kent, Wise Counsel, in a few minutes, but our season is over. It's over. We're done. Major upset at AT&T Stadium. We were favored by 7 points coming in. I thought we were going to put 40 points at home. A sickening, disgusting display of Cowboys and, just a bad taste in your mouth. We're shooting this. I would obviously prefer not to shoot this episode right now. There's about under 4 minutes, I think, left in the game. But, I think part of the raw emotion that Jason and I in sickness we feel right now, we got to be true to Cowboys Nation. We got to be true to ourselves. So with that, let's bring in Wise Counsel, Jason Kent. Jason?
Dude, I don't even know what to say. You said right before we went on air, you're like, I have, I started writing down the miscues, and my exact comment back was like, yeah, I'd like 5 in the first quarter. And it just started, what I said to you, how I wanted this game to play out for us. Dallas get the ball first, they go down and score. And now you're playing from ahead. And how did the game play out? Green Bay took the ball down and scored. Next drive, we didn't do much. And then on the punt, even though it wasn't, it didn't come back to bite us, Sam Williams with his penalty. On a very obnoxious run, fair catch interference. It just kept spiraling. And it just kept going. And to me, I hate myself right now because I said I wouldn't trust Dak because I know playoff Dak does to me. I know what playoff Dak does to me. And I bought into the Kool-Aid this season. He played very well from that after that San Fran game, from San Diego on, he seemed like a different player. And CeeDee Lamb, they even said it from that game on, they were, top combination in the league. And I bought into it, and I finally said, I believe in Dak and I trust in Dak. And I said to you before we went on air, like, I put a lot of this on Dak. There was a lot of missed passes early on, that he didn't have. And even though, I said to you the interception that he threw, yes, I thought it was pass interference, but I also think it was a bad pass. Because, you got to hit the guy in the numbers there. He overthrew Cooks. You see a couple drives later, Green Bay on the same cut concept, slant concept. Love hits his player right in the gut. Dak, when the playoffs came big and with how great he was at home, they showed last 16 games in a row they've won at AT&T Stadium. Playoff Dak showed up, and he just rips that carpet out from under you. He got us. Playoff Dak got us. He made us believe, and I know we'll talk about it later, but I don't know where you go from here, because this is a team that has Super Bowl potential, and they just got their butts kicked by the number 7 seed. And yes, come playoff time, it's really about who's playing hot, and Green Bay is hot. But you were a better team. You lost to an inferior team. You got outplayed by an inferior quarterback. At this, I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do from here.
I think you're right on with all those comments. I mean, it was, I think, the second play of the game. It was second down, and we get a penalty on deep illegal contact. I think it was against Bland. So it's like, you know what? Here we go again. Same song and dance with the penalties. So you got 2 penalties on the opening drive because D-Law also had one. So you got one of your best cornerbacks starting off with a penalty, D-Law with a penalty in that first drive. you mentioned Sam Williams. If he's not running into the punter, he's running into the
guy catching the ball.
receiver catching the ball.
This guy just does it all.
Sam Williams, he's got to go. Williams has got to go. He's too much penalty prone. There was some off of the field questions. So to me, it's not worth having a headache like that. That's going to cause mistakes. CD and Dak not on the same page. In fact, the announcer said these guys don't look like they're on the same planet. That can't happen. Why? That can't happen your first playoff game. And then
not at AT&T Stadium.
We use a timeout on defense in the first half because we're trying to do a substitution, and it looks like Green Bay is going to catch us off guard. McCarthy has to burn a timeout. So first half, so many miscues. They look unprepared for this game. How much of it, what percentage is coaches, what percentage is offense, what percentage is defense? I'm going to go with 51% on the coaching. I'm going to go with like 35% on the offense and the rest on the defense.
See, I can't go that high on coaching. We got our butts kicked. They got outplayed. I don't think they got outcoached. I just think Green Bay came in player for player and just played better. To me, it's 50% offense, 50% defense. I really, yes, McCarthy has to go. Yes, you probably have to get rid of a lot of your staff.
Can you hear me, Jason? All right, so Jason looks like he has some technical difficulties. All right, you look back, buddy.
I think I'm back. Yeah, what was the last? So yeah, no, that it's 50% offense, 50% defense. You just can't. They got pushed around, they got kicked in the face, and the players didn't respond. At this point, I get it. At the end of the day, it's quarterback coaches. But the players just got their butts kicked today, and that's, to me, that's what it comes down to. Offense and defense didn't show up. They got punched in the mouth, and they cowered.
So Dak and CD were off on different planets, and then you find them trying to force the ball in, and you get a pick six. So almost two pick sixes. Our defense unable to provide a turnover, so we lose the turnover battle. I mentioned before the season, we need a top 3 defense. And I don't know what the final numbers are going to come to be, but yeah, man, we give up 48 points at home. And we gave up how many to Geno Smith? We saw how terrible we were on the road, and supposedly defense travels. Now, granted, we lose Diggs and we lose Van Der Esch.
Yeah,
our 2 top experienced starters. We're not going to get Van Der Esch back, it looks like. So we're going to have that gap to fill. And we were so excited to hold on to DQ after he's had so many. Had a couple interviews after last season. But now, I don't even want DQ anymore. And I don't know what this is going to do, what this game is going to do to his level of interest in the market. I do think it does put a damper on it a little bit, given as much talent that he has and what he's, the lack of success he's been able to do with this much talent. I wouldn't have a lot of confidence in him if I were one of the owners. As far as our offense is concerned, Dak's contract is ending. So when you got your franchise quarterback for now, Like, he is our franchise quarterback. We just don't. There's no other options. Free agency doesn't make sense. So we're going to be cutting him a new check. So I'm thinking, okay, like, so Dak's contract's coming up, and is he going to get a discount for his performance in this game? Do you think it matters? Is he still going to get top 3 QB money?
I don't want Dak back. I don't want him back. We have to restart.
We can't hit the reset button.
You have to. Dak has shown the last 3 seasons when he's in the playoffs, Dak has shown me he cannot elevate his game in the playoffs. Twice against San Fran, he choked at the end. We wanted to blame, whoever we wanted to blame, but at the end of the game, he choked. Today, you mentioned it earlier. There was times, all season on that deep ball, he had Cook had a step on the guy earlier, overthrew him. On a third down early in the game, he overthrew CD. The one ball that CD dropped, yes, I 100% blame CD, but it could have been a better pass. There's a lot this game where he had Pollard wide open in the end zone on a play. So there's all these plays that he's missing, and it's just I've seen enough. He pulled the wool over my eyes for this season. I've seen enough of it. I have to. It stinks because they are Super Bowl. They're going to be in the running. I just don't think Dak is the guy that can take them there. I don't want to see another 5 years of this. And that's what you're going to have to sign up for.
Well,
and you're going to have to sign up for a $50 million contract.
So if Dak is out, based on our in-house succession planning, that puts Trey Lance at number 1.
I don't know.
Because we can't tag him. It's part of the contract, so he can't be tagged. It's either new contract or we let him test free agency. What other QB needed franchise out there is going to want to pay top dollar to bring him in?
Listen, I'm not saying it'll happen. San Fran has the number 1 rated passer in the NFL, and the kid was drafted Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying we're going to go out and draft the next Tom Brady or Brock Purdy, and that late in the draft, But before this season, I said to myself, this is a big season for Dak. This season depends on Dak, and he, during the regular season, he really had a lot of people believing that he was it, that he could take this team to the next level, and it really, I did believe in it as well. But he's the reason I see they're kind of coming back right. But he was the reason that they were so far. Him and the defense early in the game, the defense was on the field a lot because that offense couldn't get anything going. It's just tough for me to trust him going forward. But I know if it's a reset him, you really when you reset the quarterback, you reset your whole team. So I understand that. So it's that fine edge. Are you willing to pay him $50 million for the next 5-6 years and hope you get lucky one of those years? I don't know. I don't think I am.
So obviously, we're talking quarterback, and certainly you're not going to go through a reset type of scenario and maintain the head coach.
Oh, he's gone regardless.
So will you say 100% he's gone, or
yes,
would you say 90%?
He has to be 100%. He can't come back. Not after this. I know I'm not blaming. I don't think, it's on him for this game. I think it's the team. But the last 3 seasons, the way you went out against San Fran and you came in, you really busted your tail to get that number 2 seed. And, I think people could say what they want, whether you're the biggest Dallas hater or the biggest out. Nobody really thought Green Bay would beat them, especially with the way Dallas has played at home. And for you to lose this game, you can't come back. Jerry has to go out, and I'm sure there'll be a big talk about Bill Belichick. I don't know, but I just don't think you could bring McCarthy back after this season, after what he just did today.
What about the quarterback whisperer that's out there, Jim Harbaugh?
Man, I think He's a great coach. He did do it in San Fran.
Yes,
I
he
just
did.
don't see. I don't know if that's why I don't. I said last time, and I've said it today. That's why I don't know if they'll bring in Belichick, because I don't know Harbaugh when he's come in. He's going to want to run everything. So is Jerry willing to give that type of control up to one of those coaches? I don't know, and I don't think so. But I would love to
Yeah.
have I'd love to have Harbaugh in here.
Well, that's what I mentioned before, and we'll get more into it as we get into the offseason. But I think with you, when you see what Will McClay has been doing in drafting quality players, and we have a talented roster that's underperforming. Someone like a Belichick or like a Harbaugh is not going to be as we're like a win now team. They're not going to be as dire to want full control of the roster. I think they're going to want a lot of say, and which should be respected. I mean, I think what with Harbaugh, I think running game. I think someone that's going to help us pound, run and pound, ground and pound type of attack where you then limit Dak, right? One of Dak's better seasons is when we had one of the best running games with Zeke Elliott.
Yeah.
And you had a top player there. So a lot to get into, but you say McCarthy's out 100%. Actually, I'm going to say I want him out, but I think it's like an 85% chance he goes and we get the news by tomorrow, because if you look at the track record of the Joneses, they tend to have a lot of grace extension to these coaches. And, it seemed like we really wanted Sean Payton. He's not available. To be honest, Sean Payton has a lot of the same setbacks McCarthy does he's just unlucky with referees and the penalties. That kind of stands out to me. I mean, his play design is great. Off the cuff, I would really seriously consider the offensive coordinator that's with the Texans right now. I can't think of his name, but what the play design that I saw against the Browns, one of the NFL's top defenses, man, it's just like what he was been able to do with CJ Stroud. I think that there's some attraction there for me. But look at this. Tony Pollard's going to be 27. We know the running back market, you're not getting those running backs, especially at that age, are not getting paid. So Pollard, who knows if he's going to be back? Who knows if Gilly's going to be back? Cook's on his last year in his contract. New coach. EQ is probably gone as well, regardless of whether he gets a head coaching job. I think D-Law is still under contract, but he's weighing down.
But we're farther away. Like I truly believe, next year, I really thought this was the team that could do it. I don't know that the farther in we get, I think the harder it's going to be. I hate to see these opportunities pass us by. And that's what it feels like. That's what the last 3 years, that's what they've let happen. It's frustrating.
So Dak just got sacked on 3rd and 3, 35 seconds left and running, 4th down, down by 16, which actually when this drive started, it's like, okay, well, still a miracle was still in play, but now it looks like 24 seconds. Probably not going to happen. He throws it up and throws it out of the end zone. So it doesn't give our guys a chance.
That's a typical Dak throw. He just, I saw that Dak can't be. I don't believe in. It really feels like he's going to be the quarterback that the team has to carry him to the Super Bowl. And I don't want to pay that type of quarterback $50 million. I just don't. I don't want to do it. He's great. He's been great in the regular season. He's had his moments, and he really had us believing this year. It's tough to me. I think, and because you said there's still a lot of talent, but I do think each year they grow out if they're getting farther away because that you'd only have Martin for so many years left. You don't know if Tyron's going to be back. You're not sure about your running backs. Cooks is gone. We don't know what we have at receiver outside of CD. Is Law going to be back? What are you going to do with Law? So there's now there's a lot of questions with this team now, and there's not. And there's too much money to be dishing out to everybody. I don't know what to do. It's tough.
Do you want a defensive coach or an offensive coach?
Man, it really feels like the offensive coaches are still winning right now. Kansas City, McDermott's is defensive, but it's just, your Super Bowl winners are Andy Reid is an offensive guy. Rams was McVay, offense. Eagles were offense. So, but I want a team that's I want a defense like San Fran. I still value middle linebacker, and I feel like Dallas. The last two guys they've gotten have been really good, but have a lot of injury history. With Sean Lee and Van Der Esch. So, I think they need to go defense. It's tough. It's tough because I like what McCarthy did with Dak this year, but I really think they need the defensive guy to come in and really lock it down.
What's frustrating is with the draft picks on defense, they've been drafting speedsters, like not run stuffers. So that's going to be a challenge year over year unless we change things up or bring in a veteran. You look at the top two teams in the league, San Fran and Ravens, and they both have elite middle linebackers.
All pro middle linebackers, yeah.
Man, so this season, obviously, beyond the disappointment we had, even coming from the offseason, NFC Championship or bust, it's really hard to even have some sort of excitement or like, what are we going to look forward to going into next season? Like, what is there to look forward to?
I don't know. Maybe the optimism of having the new head coach, maybe if they bring in Belichick, maybe you're like, okay, maybe if they bring in Harbaugh, Harbaugh, I don't think I'd be as ecstatic about, but I do think, he was very good with San Fran. I think I don't know if he went to 1 or 2 with them. But he had to switch his whole play style with them. And, he goes to Michigan and finally gets that national championship. So I think if one of those signings, okay, maybe you get excited, but just the offensive coordinator, head coach, or a young kid, I don't know. It's because you can't change this team up much because you have to pay CeeDee Lamb. Dak's going to have to get repaid. What can you really afford to really alter this team to where you need to be? I don't know what you can do. I'd really, unless you can get one of those, like a Bobby Wagner type, old, later in their career wants to come to Dallas to try to win something to improve. But there's a lot of question marks going in the next season. That's why I really believed, I thought with the way Dak played, this was going to be a good run for him. He was going to take that next step, and he had us fooled. And
so, I mean, I want more time to sleep on this Dak situation. Obviously, I was the one that kind of brought you into the Dak believer group, and I think he is a top, or can be a top 5 QB. He was a MVP candidate for this season.
Aaron.
I understand. Wait, hold on. I understand that in these games, he hasn't shown up, but so I'm saying is I need more time for these feelings to thaw and to calm down a little bit. I don't really think he cost us this game. It was beyond him. Yes, he put us in the hole, but our defense didn't stop Green Bay either way.
But because you know how long they were on the field for? In that first half, there's multiple third downs that he was missing receivers. He couldn't he wasn't playing well. Like the interception, yes, it was on him. He put us in bad position. He was the reason that defense was on the field so long, and I believe, to me it was Dak cost us this game. He missed open receivers too early and put us in that hole. I'm not going to sit here and yes, I agree at the end they didn't make the stops, but when you're down 27 points, are you really going to try to play the pass? No, you're going to play the run and get burned over the top. Like at the end of the day, yes, it's I can't fully blame the defense for saying we're going to sell out for the run and we get beat on a play action because we know we have to stop it. So I can't fully put it there. Dak put us in that hole, and that's the reason all the stuff at the end happened. He shouldn't even have had the touchdown in the first half. The guy at 55 dropped the interception. Like, so he almost threw a third early. Like that, he 100% cost us this game. I put the 100% of the blame solely on Dak's shoulders.
I was expecting this game to be Mike McCarthy's best play calling game. But look, when you have a majority of the season where our routes are our best play, pass play is a 5-yard slant or a 10-yard slant all season long. I mean, what are you gonna do? So it's, to me, there's some play design issues in there, but basically what you're saying is if the Jones call you and say, Jason, Wise Counsel, it's your decision. We're either going to sign back to top $5 money or move forward, and our decision.
Oh, Dak's not going to get top 5. Dak's going to be, if he gets paid, he's going to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. It's not going to be top 5. It's going to be number 1 more than likely.
If we go with Trey Lance or someone else that gets cut, a veteran, we can allocate, probably $30 million to 2 other positions.
I'm okay looking at, the quarterback depth this year. I think there's quite a few quarterbacks that I believe are, and I'm not, listen, I don't believe Dak is gone. I 100% think they're going to bring Dak back. I don't believe they're going to let him go. This is just my, to me, it's the age-old question. Do you want to be in contention every year, or do you want to go through the rebuild? With Dak, you're in contention, and you hope he has that Joe Flacco type postseason one year. Other than that, I just don't think that's worthy of the $55 million a year they're going to have to pay him. So yeah, I would say get rid of him. If they called me, my answer, whether it's Trey Lance, draft, go look at a free agent quarterback, I'm getting rid of Dak.
All right, so we're gonna have to do some homework because Justin Fields might be available.
I don't know if I want
there might be some, Daniel Jones might be cut. Sam Howell might be available. So there's a lot to get through, but at the same time, if you just look at our division, I think it's going to be up in the air. Just thinking off the cuff, I think it's going to be up in the air next year.
I agree.
No one really scares you in the division. Eagles have gotten really old. They're going to have some more turnover, maybe even that head coach position as well. So, I mean, I think we'll probably come on Thursday after we've had some days to think more things over, and give our thoughts for end of the season recap.
It just needs some, like you said, need time to swallow this loss, man. This was, like I said to you, I said it on air, and I text, my buddy Chris. I said I don't like this matchup. I thought Green Bay going into it. I thought Green Bay could do it. I was nervous about it. I didn't expect, but how it happened, to me, is what's really eating at me. Look at how great we played at home all season.
Mm-hmm.
and they just come and the numbers. If you just look at the final numbers, Dak throws for 400 yards, but we know, when the game mattered, it wasn't there. So to play that bad was just unexpected, and I think that's what really kicks you in the crotch.
I mean, even going into the second half, I thought, okay, hey, let's not panic. We still got a shot. Got to do things right. Got to step it up. I thought there was enough leadership in the locker room, but you just couldn't stop Green Bay at the end of the day. Love outplays Dak. He's on a tremendous hot streak. It reminds me a lot of the Giants that came in and took us out. I think it was in 2009.
Oh, that Eli Manning,
when I think we had the 1 seed.
We were the better team
going up against that wild card, and so they're on a hot streak. They are going to be going to San Francisco because they're the highest seed.
That kid's, listen, they're playing really well, and I'm not going to, I don't think they'll beat San Fran, but I was watching that game today and just the way they're playing, and Dallas is a good defense. That Jordan, that kid was making throws, and Aaron Jones the last 4 weeks looks like the Aaron Jones from a few years ago. They're very, they're playing hot. Oh, it's so disappointing.
I would feel better if they beat the Niners.
No, I'd be upset. Because I'm like, we would have beat them. We'd have got, that would be us. We'd be in the Super Bowl. It'd be sad. It would be not. It would be beautiful, but it's.
Yeah.
This one hurt. This one hurt more than the San Fran ones. Because San Fran, I thought was, those years, San Fran's better.
Yeah.
Green Bay was not a better team than us. So it hurt losing to an inferior team. That's what got me.
So there it is. We get the shellacking, not Green Bay. Our season is over. Questions in the air about head coach, about quarterback, and still kind of a lot to chew on, a lot to get through. I don't even know, as Cowboys Nation, how to, what to look forward to, even in the remaining playoffs, because it's kind of like, well, man, we should still be playing at the end of the day. But want to thank you, fans and listeners, for checking out this podcast. Jason and I, we're gonna, be each other's form of therapy in the coming weeks. It's going to be tough, especially here in Philadelphia. Believe you me, the text messages have been rolling in, and we're going to have to.
And I'm going to be the bigger person. I'm not even going to hope Philly loses. I'm just going to be the bigger person.
Well,
I just want to make Super Bowl and then lose. It'd be so much sweeter to make fun of them. We're in the Super Bowl. Yeah, but you lost the Super Bowl. That'd be sweeter.
If they make it, I really don't care how far, what happens with the Phillies, whether they lose tomorrow or not. They've kind of already self-destructed in such a meaningful way and gave us the division, and we're the ones that lost. We're the ones that couldn't capitalize. So it's more so on us than it is on them. They're the ones that lost it. We didn't win it per se, is what I'm saying. But you can keep up with us on Twitter, on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. You can find us on Spotify as well as YouTube and Facebook Live. And we'll be back on Thursday. We'll try to clear our heads, see what news is going to break out. I promise you there will be some news.
I would think so.
By Thursday. And if a new coach is announced before Thursday, we might have to jump on before that. So thank you guys for joining. Again, you can subscribe, like our page, follow us, and appreciate the comments this evening. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the rest of the games this weekend, and we'll see you soon. God bless.